So yeah, as Michael said, this is a 2-day boot camp. And the reason why this is 2 days is because I want to give you guys the most value as possible. I mean, to be quite frank with everyone here, has anyone ever felt like learning something new is like sometimes it can just be extremely hard, right? Sometimes you might feel like, how am I going to grasp this new concept? How am I going to learn about something that's so foreign to me when I don't have that much time, right? Has anyone ever felt like that? To where they need just a lot of time. They might think they need a week, a month, a year to be able to learn something new, but then also implement it. Has anyone ever felt like that before? Let me see. Just put yes in the chat if that's you, if you felt like that before. All right. So then one more question right here. I want you to put I want you to put newbie in the chat if this is your first time having an interaction with me, whether it be on Zoom, learning from me, or anything of that nature. Just put newbie in the chat. I want to see what new people we have here. I just want to give you guys a couple shout outs. See, we got Frederick. Who else? See, we got Anton. See, we got Andre. See, we got Gabriel, Ashley. All right. So welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. You guys are in the right hands. Now, one thing that I will preface before we get into anything is that when I come to teach, when I'm, in that zone, I'm going to give everything to you just straight, right? This isn't a webinar, a class where, we're going to be beating around the bush and gatekeeping or whatnot. We're going to get straight into it. So I need everyone to do this for me. I need everyone to be able to be locked in throughout this whole entire webinar. Throughout today's class and tonight's class, I need you to be all in, fully committed, and locked in. Put locked in the chat if you're locked in. I just want to see who's actually locked in. I see Brenda's locked in. I see Annette's locked in. I see Andre, Pamela, Jada, Ashley. Who else? Who else is locked in? Come on, we got 236 people in here. All 236 people better be locked in. All right, so if you're locked in, you guys know what this is right here? This is a pin. I need everyone to be able to take notes throughout this because I don't want you to miss a single thing. I want you to be able to walk away from this and you got all the notes written down. So I need you guys to have a pen, have a pencil, have a notepad, and make sure that you are taking notes throughout this whole entire thing because as we said, there is no replays, right? The time is now. The time is now that you have to be able to truly lock in. So if you got distractions going on, if you got anything else, just cut it off because these next 2 days can do a lot for you. Now, I know some of you guys, you might think like, hey, Sire, how can I be able to, learn a life-changing skill over the course of 2 days, which we're going to show you how. So without further ado, welcome to the Multiplier Income Bootcamp, and let's get right into it. All right, so we're going to break this down, y'all, in many different topics, okay? So today is day one, and we're going to go over the first topic. Now, one thing that I think is very important for everyone to understand is, why are we here, right? A lot of us are here because we're in a situation where we want things to change. We're in a situation where we feel like we might deserve more out of life. We're in a situation where, we might just want an extra income. Is that true? Is that true? Which one do you resonate with out of those three options? Just let me know in the chat. Which one is you? You want a new skill. You want extra income. You want to be able to kind of have a system in place. Do you guys know what system stands for? Right? A lot of us want a system. Right? We want to be able to save ourselves time, energy, and money. Right? At the end of the day, we all go to work. We all got responsibilities, but we got to understand that if we want to be able to get to a place that we've never been before, if we want to be able to get to a place to where life is a little bit different, we got to change some stuff within ourselves. All right, so throughout this class, I want you guys to really lock in because that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do, okay? So, quick disclaimer, I am by no means a financial advisor. This is just what has worked for me, and I'm sharing what has worked for my experiences. And if you follow along, you could have similar or different results. It's all up to your execution. So, we just talked about this a little bit, but I want honestly to just congratulate everyone here. Like, I just want to say thank you to you guys for showing up, because at the end of the day, you guys could have been doing anything else. You guys could have been out to eat right now. You guys could have been on a drive. You guys could have been at the gym. But you guys decided that, hey, I want to try something different. I want to see, or I want to learn a new skill. I want to be able to maybe make an extra $500 a week. So the fact that you were able to recognize that and actually take action, that says a lot about you. It says a lot about you. That says that you already know something's got to change. What's got to change for you guys? What's something that you want to change? Let me see in the chat. Like, what's something that you guys want to be different in the next 2 months, the next 3 months? I see work-life balance. I see income. I see bank account, financial freedom, new skills, mindset. That's a big one. Mindset is a big one. Discipline, anger. Yeah, all this stuff. All this stuff is great. So the fact that you guys were able to actually take action on that, guess what? You already got the first step. The first step, proper preparation prevents poor performance. So you guys are getting yourself prepared to be able to have tremendous performance. So for you guys already answered this question. You came into this class wondering, how can you learn a new skill? How can you create an extra income and whatnot? So essentially, I mean, we're going to get right into it and go from there. So for me, my name is Sire Abram. I am the founder of Vantage Education. Now, Vantage Education, you guys, to keep it as simple as possible, because I told you guys, I'm gonna just be straight up with you. I grew up without knowing anything about finances, investing, trading, or anything like that. Can anyone relate? Have any of you guys, like, when you guys grew up, like, do you guys, like, were you just not taught about investing, trading, or money management, or anything like that? Let me see. Who else had a similar upbringing? Who else did? Yeah, a lot of us. A lot of us did. And for my journey throughout time, throughout going to high school and college and whatnot, I then started seeing different things. And, when I started internships working at investment banks in the summer, I realized that's not the reality for a lot of people. So when I was working at Goldman Sachs, doing investment management, I saw there were these families that we were managing, whose money we were managing, and I mean, they had millions of dollars, and they had children or whatnot. And for me, I thought to myself, well, I would almost assume that these kids grew up learning how to put their money to work, how to be able to allocate their dollars in the right place so they can preserve their wealth and so many other things. And for me, I was never taught that. So Vantage Education bridges that gap in between. Now, I've been a full-time trader since 2022, and I did graduate from the University of Iowa. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me and my journey and why I built Vantage Education, because for me, it's about the impact. If I can have the impact to change your life, imagine how many other people's lives would be changed by your success. Right? Just put in the chat. If you were successful, if you were able to get the skill of trading down and, let's say, make an extra $500 a week, how many people around you would have a positive impact from that? Like, how many people would that impact? Just put the number in the chat. I see 3, I see 5, I see 6, I see 7, I see 5 to 10, 8, 50, 6, someone said 6, 7. Yeah, it would impact a lot of people. And I feel like there is a lot of power that comes with being that one person in your community, that one person within your family that is able to kind of flip the script, turn to a new chapter, and to be able to set your family up and even the friends around you in a position to win. So I want everyone here to understand that you have a responsibility. It's bigger than you. Your success does not only impact you, but it also impacts the people around you. So we got to go through tonight and tomorrow with just keeping that in mind, because look, for you to get to a place to where you need to be successful, or where you're going to be successful, you got to be able to hold the people around you accountable. You got to be able to put the community on your back. Okay, so let's get into where success actually starts. First of all, it all starts with the mindset. Now, I'm not going to go too deep in it because I really want to give you guys as much sauce as possible, but just at a high level, we got to be able to change our relationship with money. We got to be able to shift our mindset in a way to where we can be able to put ourselves in a position to be able to grow our dollars without having a negative relationship with money. So I'm going to give you guys an example real quick. Let's say we take a trade. Okay. And let's say we put, well, actually, let me ask you this. Let's say here's you right here. If I gave you a $10 bill, what would you guys think of that? If I gave you guys a $10 bill right now, would you guys think like, okay, thanks for the $10 bill? You kind of would just go on about your day. Right? Am I correct? Let me know in the chat. Would you guys just kind of, you wouldn't really think too much of it? And I'd be like, okay, thanks for the $10. It's not really moving the needle. All right, perfect. So now let's say I gave you $100. Would your guys' emotions change a little bit? Would you might feel a little bit more appreciative, a little bit more excited? Come on, y'all. I need everyone to reply. If we're gonna be successful, if we're gonna be the people that changes the community around us, we all gotta reply. We all gotta put in that work. Okay, perfect. So now let's say I up the ante. Let's say I gave you $10,000. Now, how many people would be jumping up and down? Like if I just say, here's $10,000, how many people would probably just, yeah, so I see someone say they'd faint. What else? Burst out into tears. Exactly. Exactly. So this right here, y'all, this is what we have to change. Because when it comes to trading, we can't get emotional about dollar amounts. The same reaction we have to making $10, we have to have with making $100. The same reaction we have to have to making $10,000. We have to have the same thing. And the hard part about it is none of us are conditioned to think this way. And that's why trading is so different, because we have to be able to stay grounded. We have to be able to see all of this as a percentage. We got to be able to say, okay, if I only make 10% in a trade, whether that 10% is $10 or that 10% is $10,000, we still have to execute, and we still have to have the same feelings towards all of this stuff right here. Because imagine if you get emotional over $10,000 and then now you start making decisions that can affect your performance, versus let's say 10% of your trade is $100 and you're just like, I don't really care about it. It's just $100. What's that going to do? If that's your mindset around $100, I could almost promise you, you are going to be in a situation where you mistreated $100 10 times. And now you're down $1,000 because you did not have the same respect for $100 as you did for 10,000. That's how important mindset is in your relationship with money when it comes to trading. Okay, so when it comes to the mindset, the first thing is you have to have the same emotions. You have to feel the same way about every single dollar amount, because the money does not care about you. $100 does not look at you and feel a type of way. $1,000 does not look at you and feel type of way. So you got to be able to play the exact same game with it if you want to be successful throughout your trading journey. Who wants to be successful? Put successful in the chat if you want to be successful throughout your trading journey. We got 300 people in here, and I hope that all 300 people in here want to be successful in your trading journey. Because everything we're going to go over is not to be subpar. It's not to just get by. This is to help you be able to start off the right way, get to the next level, and to be able to sustain that. Right? It's one thing to see success over the course of a week, but it's a different thing to see success over the course of 3 months, 6 months, a year, 4 years, 7 years. Completely different thing. But you got to be able to keep this mindset and continue it throughout your journey. Now, secondly, small wins lead to big results. All right, let me say that again. Small wins leads to big results. Now, I'll go back to the iPad over here. A lot of people that trade will always go for home run trades. And what I mean by that is they'll aim for 70%, 100% return trades, 150% return trades, 300% return trades. But guess what? These do not come often. These type of trades don't come every single day. They do not. But you want to know what comes every day? A 20% return, a 30% return, 15% return. So I would much rather end up going for 2 of these a day, 1 of these a day, 3 of these a day. Because if I'm able to catch 3 20% returns over the course of a day, in total, that's 60% of gains. Versus if we're trying to hold a trade to 100%, guess what? A trade might get to 45% and then reverse on you. Now, guess what? Now you just lost money. All because you were aiming for a home run trade. So what I want everyone to write down today, and keep this with you, because I promise you this right here is going to save you so much time, energy, money, efforts, and profit. So look at this. Base hits will add up to a home run. So what I want everyone here to do is to understand that every single trade that you're taking from here on out, I don't care what you did in the past, I want all of us to be able to see if we're up 15% return on a trade, we might as well just take it. If we're up 20% return, we might as well take it. We are not going to be looking to catch 100%, 300%, 500% returns. Yes, this might happen, but that's not going to be our main goal. That's not going to be where we are necessarily aiming for every single time, because if we continuously take base hits, we will be able, Laura said me, but if we continue taking base hits, guys, I'm telling you, you will find so much consistency when it comes to your trades. Like all of my trades, almost 89% of my trades are all under 30% returns. And I'm able to make an extra 2K, 3K, 4K a day, all because I'm taking these base hits. They come real quick. It's easy to get in and get out. And then we just go on about our day. So base hits is what's going to help take you to that next level. Okay, now it doesn't matter how much you put in. It doesn't matter if your account is $100, $1,000, $10,000. At the end of the day, our goal is for the account to grow. Yep, you just got to, exactly, just like Evan said, being just 1% better each day is still progress. All right, so let's continue forward. So let's get into the actual nitty gritty. Let's talk about some options. Who here, I just want you to put new in the chat if you do not know what options trading is. If you are brand new to the game, if you are unfamiliar with options trading, if you just don't know what it is, if you're curious about it, I just want to see who's new to options trading. All right, so I see we got a few people in here that are new to options trading. Perfect. All right, let me break this down for you. So when it comes to the stock market, right, we'll have our stocks like Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Roku, Nvidia. Those are all companies that we can buy shares of. Okay, so these are companies that we can buy a little bit of equity in and we can own shares. And as we buy those shares over time, ideally, we want to see those shares grow as the companies grow as well. So, for example, if you bought Apple stock in 2015, 2012, your shares would have grown. Now, with options trading, you can get exposure to that same growth, but with less amount of money. So let's say a share of a stock is $500. You can trade options on it and you can be able to essentially trade that exact stock, but with more leverage and with a lower amount of capital to get in. So, prime example. Let's say I am looking at, and actually, I'll show you guys a live trade I did today. I'll show you guys. So let's say I'm looking at the stock QQQ. Now, QQQ is just a stock. So QQQ is at $657. So if I wanted to buy a share of QQQ, it is going to cost me $657. Okay. Can you guys see this screen right here? Okay, perfect. So QQQ would cost me $675 for one share. Now, if I wanted to capitalize on the price movement of QQQ going up, let's just say around this time where QQQ went from, well, we bought this when QQQ was at 657. We sold it when it was at 659. So QQQ just jumped up $2 over the course of that 2 minutes. Okay, so if we bought one share and the stock goes up by $2, how much money do we make? How much profit do you make if you buy one share at 657 and it goes up to 659? Exactly. We'd make $2 because we bought one share. So with options, it's the complete opposite. You can capitalize on that same movement, but with a less amount of capital. So you can put in less money and end up making more money compared to buying shares. So on this exact same move that was only in 2 minutes, QQQ went from 657 to 659, and I was able to make 50% on the money that I put in on this trade. So that is essentially at a high level what options trading is. Essentially, we are trading the stock, but we are trading options on it, which gives us more leverage and it costs us less money to be able to get in. All right, so that's what options trading is. Now, when it comes to options trading, you guys, I want you to truly understand that you can't be successful if you don't understand risk management, right? The same way as you can make a bunch of money in a couple of minutes, you can also lose a bunch of money in a couple of minutes. And that's where understanding how to do this stuff the right way goes in, because do you guys think a team, a sports team, say a football team, can be successful if they don't have a game plan? Do you guys think that? If you go to the Super Bowl and your team has no game plan, you guys don't got no idea what you're gonna do, do you think they would be successful? Would you see success if you operated in that manner? Of course not, not at all. So for options trading, the only way we can be successful is if we have a plan. We have to be able to have a plan with it. So for options trading, we have to have a plan. So what I mean by plan is I'll break this completely down for you. We have to be able to understand where we are getting in, why we are getting in, when are we going to get out, why are we going to get out, how much money we're going to put in, how much money we're going to risk, and how much money we're looking to make. These are all the important steps that you have to be able to understand and identify before you even hop into a trade. So does this seem like a lot of steps right here? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 things that we have to understand. Like, why are we even doing this? Why are we getting into this trade? Why are we getting out of this trade? Does that seem like a lot of steps, you guys? Let me see. I see some no's. What else? No or yes? All right. So some people may think this is a lot of steps, but I'm telling you, by the way we break this down, you will walk away from this and be like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it was that simple. Because with going through each and every single step, there has to be intention behind it, right? So whenever you're looking at a trade, whenever you're looking at a stock, we have to have intent to why are we looking at this? Why are we going to enter? How much we're going to enter? We have to have all of these things broken down before we even do it. So getting into the next part is our brokerage. Has anyone ever heard about Robinhood before? The app Robinhood? So Robinhood, if you do not know, is a brokerage. And this is where we do the execution. So the buying and the selling of the trades. Okay, so this is the app Robinhood. So if you don't have Robinhood right now, I need you guys to go download the app Robinhood. Now, me personally, the way I like to trade is I'll have Robinhood on my phone, and then I'll have the charts on my computer. So there's the link to go join Robinhood for all you guys that do not have the app. All right. So Robinhood, to be honest with you, the reason why I like it the most is it's extremely user friendly. Right. I'm a firm believer that when you are trying something new for the first time, it should be simple, right? It should not be extremely complicated. And I think Robinhood, as a beginner, will kind of set you in a place to where you can just understand it. Just think about, let's say Apple. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have iPhones right now. We all know Apple products are super easy to use. Super easy to use. So I feel like Robinhood is the Apple of trading brokerages. It's extremely easy. So Robinhood is the brokerage that I use. Now, with Robinhood, there are some pros, there are some cons, just as anything. So the pros, one, it's user friendly. Secondly, you get access to a margin account or a cash account. Okay. So for a margin account, and this will only be intact for the next month or so, this rule is going to go away. So if you have under $25,000 to trade with, you can only day trade, which means buy and sell in the same day, only 3 times in a 5-day period. Now, personally, I don't recommend having a margin account. I would rather have a cash account. So with the cash account, here's the difference. For a cash account, you can essentially take as many trades as you want all the way up until your buying power is gone. So just think of your buying power as if you got $1,000 to trade with. If you put all $1,000 into one trade, how many more trades can you guys take for the day? I want you guys to tell me in the chat. Exactly, 0. You can't take any more trades because you just used all your buying power. So you have to be strategic about the trades that you're willing to take. So if you got $1,000 in your account, and let's say you put $100 into every single trade, you can take 10 trades because with the cash account, it allows you to do that. And then the next day it'll reset. And then lastly, for the cons of Robinhood, sometimes the order fill is just a little bit slow. So just in the terms of getting in a trade, getting out of a trade, sometimes it can take a little bit of time. Maybe it might take 5 seconds instead of 1 second. Maybe you might have to replace the order. But essentially, at the end of the day, everything works. Robinhood is a real brokerage. And I think this is probably one of the best brokerages to use, especially if you are a beginner. All right. Now, in terms of the setup of Robinhood, this right here is going to be crucial. Okay. So I want everyone to take, I don't know if you got to take a screenshot of this or whatnot, take notes, but this right here is something that you're going to want to take note of. So when you go to Robinhood, the brokerage on your phone, you are going to hit the bottom right icon and it's going to look like a person. So I'm going to go to Robinhood on my phone right now. So if I go to Robinhood, and I hit the bottom right icon, that's a person, and I hit the top 3. So on the top right, there's 3 arrows. Not 3 arrows, but 3 lines. So if we hit this, it'll take us to a screen where it says menu at the top. And we want to click investing. Okay, so once we hit investing, we're going to scroll down a bit until we see this screen right here. The screen where it says options trading. Let me find it. For you, it might say enable because it might not be enabled yet. So I want you to hit enable. Now, it's going to ask you a series of questions and whatnot that you have to answer. But ideally, you want to have options trading enabled. So it doesn't matter if you have level 2 or level 3. As long as you have one of those 2 things, you're in the right place. So we always want to make sure our options trading is enabled. We want to be able to do this, okay? So when you go to it, none of these necessarily matter except buying calls and puts. We want to make sure we have this option. So the difference between level 2 and level 3 is just extra things like buying spreads, exercising options, selling cash covered puts, which I don't do any of that stuff anyways. And then next, we also want to make sure trade on expiration date is toggled on. Okay. So then now, lastly, if we go back to this page, the first page, and we scroll down, it will say account type. So for the account type, we want to make sure it says cash account. So if you have under 25K in your Robinhood brokerage, make sure that it is a cash account and not a margin account. So then this will ensure that we are able to take multiple trades throughout a given day and really just throughout the whole entire week. All right, put got it in the chat if you understand. Put got it in the chat if you've already done it. I just want to see who's taking action. Success loves speed. I see Dominique's got it. I see Giovanni's got it. Brenda's got it. Who else? I see Jerry. I see Lorette. I see Aja. Sylvia. All right, perfect. Can I move on? I just want to make sure everyone has this stuff down. So if you got to take a screenshot of this right here, make sure you do so. If you got to write the notes down, make sure you got the notes written down. Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, so now moving on to Robinhood navigation. So whenever we go to a stock, to confirm we want to have a cash account. So not margin account, but a cash account. Okay. So whenever we go to Robinhood, and I'll go to Robinhood again on my phone, if we type in a stock, and let's just say we type in QQQ, we're going to see a screen that looks just like this, right? It's going to have the stock. It's going to say trade on the bottom. And if we click trade, we're going to see the option to trade options. Okay. So if we click on that, we get a screen and we're going to click today, or you can just click the next date on the top. So we'll get a screen that looks like this right here on the slide. So the top right, or not on the top right, but the top column, this is a representation of our expiration dates. Okay. So when it comes to option contracts, they all expire on a specific date. Okay. So sometimes we may have options contract that expires today. Some might expire tomorrow, the next day. So for QQQ, for example, we have expiration dates every single trading day. All right. So typically, what I would like to do is when I take trades with QQQ, I'll trade on the same day of expiration. So let's just say this was earlier in the day. This is where QQQ would have been. So we always want to make sure below the dates, whenever we're looking to get into option, buy option, we want to make sure we are setting this on buy. Okay. So we always want to make sure it's on buy. So now let's talk about the differences between the different options. So with options trading, we have calls and then we have puts. So these are the two different types of options that we can buy. So for calls, looks like my pen's starting to give out. All right, let me improvise real quick. I do it a different way. Actually, I think this might be easier because we'll write it all out. Okay, so for options, and I just want to make sure everyone can see this. All right, this is big enough for you guys? Did everyone see the letters? Lovely. Okay, so with options trading, we have the ability to buy calls. And for calls, this will essentially, our money will grow when price goes up. So we are calls when price goes up, we make money. Okay. So if we are thinking that price is going to go in an upward direction, we are going to look to buy calls. Okay. Now the opposite is puts. When price goes down, we make money. So if we are looking for price to go down, if we believe, okay, price is going to go down, our money will grow when we buy puts. So for example, I want you guys to tell me out of these two colors, out of these two diagrams, which one would we have made money on? So in the blue scenario, would we have made money if we bought calls or if we bought puts? Put in the chat. Let me know. Exactly. We would have made more money if we bought puts in this blue scenario because price is going down. Now in the red scenario, would we make money if we bought calls or puts? Exactly. We would have made money if we bought calls in the red scenario because price overall is going up. So we got to understand that ideally, at a high level, wherever we buy from, let's say we bought right here. If we bought right here and price decides to go higher, we make money as price goes up from where we bought it. Now, if price instead ended up going down from where we bought it and we bought calls, we're going to lose money. Same thing the opposite way. If we bought puts right here and price goes up, we're going to lose money. So when it comes to options trading, can you guys see how important it is to be precise when it comes to the areas at which you're going to be looking to buy calls or buy puts? Can you guys see how precision plays a key in all of this? Because we got to be able to put ourselves in a position to where we know, okay, if I buy from right here, we will have a clean push to the upside or a clean push to the downside. For example, the trade that I showed you guys that I took earlier today, look at this. I bought right here at 657.69. What direction did price go up? Or dang, I just gave you guys the answer. What direction did price go after I bought this? Price went up. So therefore, when I bought calls right here, I made money because price went up. Ideally, at a high level, that's how it works. So when we go to the options chain, we need to be able to always make sure that we understand what we are buying and when we are buying. Okay. So if we're looking to buy calls, we always need to make sure it says buy and it says call right here. Now, where we have the share price, that is a representation of the stock. So if we're looking at QQQ stock, that is showing at this time that we were looking at this, QQQ was $612. So if we think QQQ is going to go up, we are going to look to buy call options, okay? Now let's break down the options chain so I can show you guys how to actually read it. So when it comes to the options chain, you guys see how it says 615 call, 614 call, 613 call, 612 call. You guys see that? So just think of all of these as different option contracts. Okay, so each one is a different options contract. The 615 call is going to be different than the 614 call, going to be different than the 613 call, and so forth. So if you want to, I don't know, if you want to relate it to something, we could say, is anyone here in the shoes? Is anyone here like, let's say, I don't know, Jordans or something? Okay, Nikes, whatever. So if we wanted to compare it to a pair of shoes, we could say you have the Jordan 1s, the Jordan 2s, the Jordan 3s, the Jordan 4s. Yeah, they're all Jordans. These are all call options, but every single options contract is going to be called something different. So the 615 call is different than the 614, 613, and so forth. So for call options, we are typically going to look to trade or to buy options that are above the share price within 3 strike prices above. So think of the name of it as just the strike price. So the name of the option is simply the strike price. Okay, so I'll write that down for you guys here because I want you guys to be able to take notes on this. Oops, let me see what's. Let's write this down right here. So the name of the strike price is the same as the I would say can be referred to as the name of the option contract. Now, also, we are going to always look to buy calls slightly above the share price. Okay. So typically we would refer to these, and you don't necessarily have to know this term because it doesn't make too big of a difference, but it's considered out of the money option. So this is anytime you have an options contract that is above the share price, that is considered out of the money. So I like to focus on these types of options contracts, ones that are considered out of the money. Okay. So if we have the share price at 610, and then let's say let's say this is the share price right here. And then we have the 611 call, 612 call, 613, 614. All of these strike prices that are above, these are the ones that we're going to look to buy. Always above the share price. Now, typically I like to stick within a range of 3 that are above the share price. Nothing too far above, because when you go too far above, it's going to be hard to be able to make money on those. So when we're looking at the options contract, now we got to figure out how much am I spending? How much am I going to spend to get into this options contract? And this is how you read it right here. So you guys see how on the 615 call, see how it says 0.63? You guys see that right here? Let me see. Who understands that? Who sees it? So this number, all of these numbers right here on the side, this is the price of that specific options contract. So all we're going to do is just some quick math. Just move the decimal, multiply it by $100, whatever you got to do. The 615 call is going to cost you $63 to get in. The 614 call is going to cost you $97 to get in. The 613 call is going to cost you $144 to get in. So every single time we see an option, we need to understand that this is how we read the price. So I'm going to quiz you guys real quick. If we're looking at the 612 call, how much in dollars is it going to cost us to just buy one contract of this option? How much is it going to cost? Put it in the chat. Let's see who's quick. Nope, the answer is not $200. So it says 1.98. How much is this going to cost us? If it says the options contract is 1.98, exactly $198. That's how much one contract for this is going to cost. Now, if we're looking at the opposite end and we're talking about puts, it's the same thing, but just reverse. So we are going to look to trade contracts that are below the share price, just 3 below the share price. That's it. And then the way we do it is we'll set it on buy and we'll just click puts. And then to read the price of the options contract, it's going to be the exact same thing. $131 to get in, $95 to get in, $67 to get in. It's all the same stuff, but that's how you read the actual options chain. Okay? Does that make sense? You guys got it in the chat if you got it. If you understand real quick on how to read the options chain. Because a lot of people get this part confused, and if you don't understand this, everything else is going to be a lot harder. But this right here is where you got to navigate quick. All right, so let's keep going. Okay, now there are thousands of stocks to trade from. You do not need to trade each and every single stock, you guys. The stocks that I like to trade, and honestly, I really only trade one, is QQQ. The reason why this is because QQQ, you can get in, you can get out without having any worries. You can get out, get in and get out extremely fast. And also, there's good price movement. So there's a thing called volatility. Oops. So with volatility, all that means is price moving upwards and downwards in a drastic way. So when it comes to options trading, the way you make money is capitalizing on price movement. So if we had a couple of scenarios, let's say we had one like this versus one like this versus one like this versus, let's just say these three. We can make money in something like this here because we got a push up, a push down, push up, a push down. We can't make money in a situation like this because we're just moving in the same direction without maximum movement. But then we could make money in this right here because we do have a pretty big push to the upside. This is called volatility. So when we're looking at trade options, we got to be able to find a stock that's going to actually have some movement to it. Because the more movement, the more opportunity for us to capitalize on. Does that make sense? The more movement we have on stocks, the more money we can make because we have more opportunity. So I don't stick, like, that's why I say, y'all, do not start trying to trade some penny stocks or some stocks that no one has ever heard of. Stick to the big ones, stick to the main ones. Your QQQ, your Tesla, your AMD, your Nvidia, all of those stocks will give you movement to be able to capitalize on. Because once again, we only make money as price actually decides to move. All right. So now let's get into how to actually take the information that we see and kind of just build from it from there. Are you guys ready for this? Like how we're about to get into the charts and really break down what we need to see on the charts to be able to actually execute live. You guys ready for that? Because one thing I will say, um, and like this is kind of how the whole order process works. So one, we'll go to, well, first we'll check news, and we'll get into that. Secondly, we'll go to trading view. And that's just where we look at the charts. Thirdly, we'll go to Robinhood. Fourthly, we'll stay on Robinhood and actually execute the trade while at the same time we're on trading view watching the trade. So when it comes to the process, y'all, this is what we have to be able to kind of all do in the fashion, just like that. And for some of y'all that are brand new to this, some of y'all that maybe have never traded before, some of y'all that this is your first time, it is going to take repetition to be able to do this stuff quick. Like right now, I could go to a chart, I could chart something out completely, understand, find a trade, hop in, I can do all that stuff in the span of just finding a trade to take. It honestly does not take me more than 30 seconds to do. But I've been doing this for about 7, 8 years now. Versus when I was maybe year 2, year 3 in, it might take me 20 minutes to just chart something up and try to find a trade. So I want everyone here to be able to understand repetition is key, right? Like I want everyone here to take what I'm about to show you and practice it, apply it. Because when you start applying the real stuff that you get from this class tonight, you will be able to actually start seeing results from that. So I just want to see if you are someone that is like, look, I didn't come here to play. Whatever we learned, like I'm putting into action today. I'm here. I'm gonna put in the work. I'm gonna replicate. I'm gonna get the get the practice in. I want you to put dialed in the chat. Who's dialed in? Because look, we got 333 people in here. The last thing that I would want is for all 333 people of y'all to get this game, get this sauce, and just leave it right there. Because if I give you the recipe, y'all better be able to cook with it. Like I want to hear y'all success stories. I want to see y'all practice. I want to see y'all put all this stuff into play because information is no good if you're not going to do anything. And the great thing about information is it changes situations. But you got to be able to put in the work to be able to change your situation with the right information. So as I said, everything that we're going to talk about, I'm getting straight to it. Straight to it. There isn't going to be beating around the bush or whatnot. We're going to get into the good stuff. And one thing I will say is if you take notes throughout this next part, if you just follow along, I promise you, you will walk away from today's meeting mind blown. You will literally walk away and get to the point where you'll be like, dang, I feel like I can probably go make a play tomorrow. I feel like I can actually go look at a chart and understand what I'm looking at. Who here looks at charts right now and they just don't understand what they're doing? Who is that? Is that anyone? Where you just look at a chart and you're just like, I don't really understand what I'm looking at entirely. Who is that? So, all right. So we're going to change that. We're going to change that tonight. All right. So let's see. Michael has something to say real quick, and then we'll get into this next part. But I just want y'all to be ready. I want y'all to pull out them pins because I don't want y'all to miss this right here. Okay? All right. Michael said he'll come back in a second. So let's get into a little bit more before Michael comes back. So on the charts, y'all, this is the platform that I use is called TradingView. Now, with TradingView, essentially how the setup is I'll have Robinhood on my phone. Okay? I have Robinhood on my phone right here, and this is where I actually execute the trades. And I have my laptop open, and that's where I have TradingView, and that's where the charts are. So charts on the computer, Robinhood on my phone, and that's how I trade with just those two devices. Now, before we get into looking at a chart, the first step is understanding what catalysts we have coming up. So let me just show you guys this real quick. So the website that we are going to look for news just to see what's happening before the market opens is going to be called Forex Factory. Okay, so write this down. So to first step, check news. ForexFactory.com. Everyone write this down. This is the first thing we're going to do is go to Forex Factory and we are going to check the news. So I'm going to show you guys how to navigate Forex Factory. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the top right here. We're going to click calendar. Okay. So once we hit calendar, from here, we're going to hit this filter icon on the top right. So once we hit this filter icon, we are only going to want to make sure the red folder is checked off. Okay. So red folder, and then we're for currencies, we only want to see USD. And once we did that, we want to hit apply filter, and then everything will show up here. So this is an example of news events happening this week. So we only want to see red folder news, okay? And then it'll show the timestamp. And if you want to change the time zone, all you have to do is just click the timestamp here. So these red folder news, so we can see Wednesday, 1 o'clock, we have federal funds rate, FOMC statement. These are events to where it's gonna make the market a little bit unpredictable. Things are gonna get extremely volatile. So around this time period, it's maybe not gonna be best for us to be in a position or take a trade at this time. So we just want to be able to understand, okay, for tomorrow, around 12:30, 1 p.m., I probably don't want to be in a trade right now. That's just how we're going to look at it. And then if we want to continue going on to the next week, we can say, okay, Tuesday, 9 a.m., we got red folder news. Maybe I don't want to be in a trade around then. But we just need to be prepared and understand what's happening before the market even opens, because you can be in a trade. Let's say this is price right here. And let's say we bought calls here. We can be in a trade, and let's say we bought calls, and all of a sudden we get red folder news and price shoots down. Guess what? Let's say you would have been up 18% here. Red folder news came in, and now you're down 22%. All because you did not look to check to see when there was news. So we just always want to be able to avoid that and put ourselves in a situation where we are always prepared to be able prepared to where we are able to understand what we have coming, as the market is going on. So I'm going to pass it to Michael real quick, share a couple words, and then we'll get into this next section of actually charting.
All right, all right. Has this been good, y'all? Has this been good so far? Let us know in the chat real quick if this has been valuable. We just want to take a quick intermission. I need to give Sire just a break for a quick moment to let him get a drink of water, and then he'll be right back up. So I don't want you to leave because you may miss out on this second part, which is going to be the most important of the day, okay? So real quick, I do want to remind you guys a few things. We have a Facebook group. So before, I wanted to make sure that you all didn't get disconnected. So we have a Facebook group for this event. I wanted to make sure everybody could go join the Facebook group real quick. So we're going to pause. Several of y'all were saying that you forgot the link or you missed it. The team is going to drop a link in the chat. I need everybody to go join that ASAP. Go join the Facebook group where you can stay connected with us tonight. And we're actually going to give you an assignment. Sire is going to give you an assignment to do tonight, and it's going to require that you go in the Facebook group. So everybody go join the group right now and comment the word done after you've joined the group so we know you're an action taker, all right? Because part of your assignment tonight, remember, this is a boot camp. We're going to be telling you to do certain things. You got to show. Asia said, I don't have a Facebook. Asia, just make one temporarily just for this, and then you can delete it after, all right? But go ahead and join. Darius is done. Let's go. Giovanni says, joined yesterday. I love it. Ashley says, I'm already in there. I love it. So go join that because that's going to be part of your assignment tonight. Number two, just a quick reminder that here in about an hour or so, we are going to be going into a VIP only Q&A. Okay, a VIP only Q&A that is happening in about an hour from now. So there's a lot of anybody have questions so far? You're just like, man, I have a few questions. Sire, I got a few questions, brother. Can you help me out? Anybody? All right, I see if y'all feel y'all shaking your head. You're like, yep. Yep. Okay. I want to let you all know that you can get access to Q&A that's happening around 9 o'clock. Plus, we're going to give you lifetime access to these replays. Let me say that one more time. If you want lifetime access to the replays, where you can go back and watch anytime you want, you can go ahead and upgrade. It's only $49 to do so. Okay. So I want to shout out Wesley, who got the VIP today. Shout out to Alaric, who got VIP. Shout out to Harish, who got VIP today. Monica got VIP. Shout out to Jules. I just want to say congratulations. Everybody put congrats in the chat for our VIP. Do the replays include the Q&A? Yes, they do, Tamika. That's a great question. We'll also be putting the Q&As inside of the replays for the VIP. So go ahead and work on upgrading right now if you all want access to the replays. Plus, you want to get access to the Q&A we're doing in about an hour. I would highly recommend you do VIP just because of the fact that it's going to, last thing we want you to do is tomorrow or 3 days or 4 days down the road, you come to us and say, Sire, I couldn't figure this out. I had questions. We want you to be able to go through and be able to go back and rewind. Okay, so go ahead. The link is in the chat right there. Go ahead and click to join right now. This is the perfect time to pause and do so. You won't regret having access to these replays. I'm pretty certain of that. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Who's working on upgrading? Just comment working on it in the chat. If you're like, yo, Sire, I got to be in that room with you. Go ahead and put working on it in the chat if you're working on the VIP upgrade right now so I can salute you before we bring Sire back up to the stage. And we may be doing a couple giveaways inside of the VIP portion at the very, very, very end of the day after the VIP. We may know, David says working on it. I love it. We may go ahead and do some giveaways at the very, very end of VIP for those of you all that are in there. So make sure that you all are upgrading. I love it. Already in it, Jason says, let's go. David Smith says, working on it. Cecilia says, done. Let's go. I love it. Evelyn, I think just upgraded. Shout out to Evelyn. I love it. All right. So the link is there in the chat. If you have questions about upgrading, you can message in the chat and our team will respond. So I just wanted to make sure you all knew that that was something that you could take advantage of. And now is the perfect time to go ahead and do that. Sharonda says, wait, what is the upgrade? If you want to get the Q&A we're about to do in an hour, I'm warning you now. That's why I had Sire pause, because last thing I want is here in about an hour when I say, hey, we're going over to the VIP Q&A. I don't want you guys rushing and being like, oh, wait, I should have upgraded. I want you to go ahead and upgrade now. So when we transition to the VIP Q&A, you already have the link and you'll be ready to rock. Okay. So go ahead and do that right now. I see. And you get not only the Q&A, but you get lifetime access, Sharonda. Was that your name? My apologies. I think I forgot. But yes, so Sharonda, yes, you're going to get lifetime access to today, and it's a day two tomorrow in case you all missed that. So we're going to be doing a day two tomorrow as well that you all can get access to. So make sure you're upgrading. It's only $49. So you can get access to the day two Q&A because we're going to do a Q&A tomorrow as well. And you get lifetime access to all of the replays. Okay. So shout out real quick to some new people who upgraded. Sylvia just upgraded. Let me see who else did as well. We had Malika just upgraded. Shout out to Malika. Shout out to Dolores who just upgraded. Robert just upgraded. And there's so many of you all that are working on it right now. So congratulations, y'all. So anyways, I wanted to pause and just talk about those upgrades. You can work on that while Sire is going into part number two. Part number two, we got coming up, y'all. You excited? This is amazing information. This is just the start. We got more tomorrow, all right? Mel says, if I bought VIP yesterday, am I good? Yes. VIP for today and tomorrow is good. If you purchase before the event, it's great. You can, Mina, you can upgrade tomorrow. Yes, you can, but that means you'll miss today's Q&A, just so you're aware. Okay. So we have Flavia's working on upgrading. David's working on it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So let's go ahead and we will go ahead and pass this back over to Sire. Sire, I'm going to give you the mic, brother, so we can go ahead and get going into part two while they're working on those upgrades.
All right, perfect. All right, put dialed in the chat if you dialed in and ready for part two. Come on, y'all. We got to keep the same energy. The energy we had before, we still got to keep it up. Because as we said, this is only a 2-day thing. This isn't a 5-day boot camp, not a 1-month boot camp. This is 2 days. So for 2 days, we got to give it our all. 2 days, we got to be able to put in all the work we can. All right. So let's get right into it. What's up? All right. So trading view, as I said before, this is where we go to look at the charts. Now, the charts, y'all, is what's going to show you and tell you everything that you need to be able to make real dollars from trading. Right now, I would say personally, I probably spend about 10 minutes on the charts. 10 minutes is all I need to be on the charts. And that's because I've been on the charts for years. I looked at charts on stocks every single day for years. So the platform that I use is called tradingview.com. Now I'm going to show you guys how to navigate TradingView, how it works and everything of that nature. So as we said before, take notes, try to follow along if you can, because we are going to get into a lot when it comes to this. Okay. So for TradingView, this is the website right here. So if you just type in TradingView on Google, this is what you're going to see. So tradingview.com, if we click on it, just go straight to the homepage. This is what we're going to see. And there's a lot of information on here, but guess what? You don't have to know everything. So if we go to the search bar and type in a random stock, let's just type in Apple, AAPL. We're going to click on the first one and we're going to hit launch chart. Okay. So when we hit launch chart, we're going to see a screen and there's going to be a lot of these. Yours might be black and red and green, or white, red and green, so many different things, but these are called our candles. Now, when it comes to charting, there's somewhat of a like a psychological type of thing that plays effect. Whereas we want our charts to look as clean as possible. Right? Who here hates looking at something messy? You guys hate looking at just messy things and it just feels like it just clutters your mind, and maybe you're just like, man, like I can't even focus. I got too much going on the screen. Is that anyone? No, exactly. A clean and simple chart is the best. So I'm going to show you guys how to get your charts as simple as possible. All right. Okay. So if we go to the chart right here, let's just click on one of these candles. We just double click. It doesn't matter which one it is. We just double click it. This will show our settings icon. Okay. So for our settings icon, we are going to want to make sure it says symbol on the top left. So if we just hit symbol, we can see where it says body, borders, and wicks. We have all of these rectangles here. So for the body, for the first one, we're going to click it and we're going to hit this purple color and we're going to turn the opacity to 100%. Okay. So hit purple, turn the opacity to 100%. Now for the rest of these boxes, we're going to make sure it's black 100%. So once again, the first one, purple 100%, and the other 5 right here, we're going to hit black 100%. Okay. So now after that, where it says pre-post market hours, we're going to hit the first one, turn the opacity to 0%. Then we're going to hit the second one and turn the opacity to 0%. Okay. So put got it in the chat once you have taken notes on it, once you've taken a screenshot, once you wrote it down. I just want to see who got it. I see Ashley's got it. I see Tamika's got it. I see Pamela's got it. Who else? I see Yvonne's got it. So at TradingView, you can have the free version. You can have the paid version. It's up to you at the end of the day. So last time, the body, we're going to hit purple 100% on the first box. The rest of these, we're going to hit black 100%. Pre and post market hours, we're going to turn the opacity to 0% on each one. Okay. So now moving on, we are going to go to canvas. Now, for the canvas one, we are going to make sure that this says solid. Okay. Going to hit solid and we're going to click this box and we are going to hit the second icon. So remember, we're not using TradingView to take trades on. This is to look at charts only. So for the background, we're going to hit solid and we're going to hit the second white. Okay. Now, the reason why I use purple is, I mean, to be honest with you, I think it's probably one of the cleanest layouts. For charts, I just think it's very simple and easy to understand. Now, where it says grid lines, we're going to make sure that this says none. And then where it says text, we're going to make sure this is black. And we're going to make sure the number is 12. Okay, so last time, background solid. We're going to hit the second white. Then for grid lines, we're going to hit none. Where it says text right here, we're going to make sure it's black. And we're going to hit the number 12. Okay? So now, we got to be able to save this stuff because we want to be able to go back to our charts and have everything look the exact same. So from here, if we go to the bottom and where it says template, if we hit this arrow, we can hit save as, and we're just going to save it as Sire Bootcamp. And then we're going to hit OK. And then your screen should look very similar to this. So once you have done that, or once you've taken notes, once you got that locked in, I want you to put in the chat, you can just put win. Put win in the chat if you're a winner, if you got this stuff. If you're going to use this stuff to win, because I'm telling you, I'm only giving you all this sauce so you guys can walk away and be able to actually execute and win some trades. Because trading can seem super difficult online, it can seem super confusing, but I'm going to show y'all it is not as confusing as it seems. Okay, perfect. So now let's continue forward. So actually, you know what? Do you guys want to? I'll let you guys decide. I'll let you guys take the wheel right here. Do you guys want to be able to have enough information from today's session to actually go to a chart and understand and implement what you're doing? Or would you rather walk away from today's session with understanding more so the, how can I say it? The more technical type of things like terms and whatnot. Which one? Option one or option two? Execution or technical? Option one or option two? Do you guys want to be able to walk away from today's? Because we can go two different paths. Either I can show y'all some stuff to where you can go to a chart tomorrow and be like, aha, I understand what's happening right here. Who wants execution? Put execution in the chat if you want execution. All right, perfect. But you guys got to promise me you guys will be able, or you guys will be willing to do whatever it takes to continue using this stuff, right? Like, I don't want to show you this and then you just don't do nothing with it. Or you guys decide just, hey, I just kind of want to take a pause. Like, I want y'all to be able to actually keep this up, right? Because we're about to start building some momentum. And one thing I will say is when you start building momentum, you got to keep it up because when your momentum stops, everything else just gets so much harder. All right, so let's get into it. I'm gonna give y'all some stuff so we can execute because I want y'all to actually win. So let's talk about when it comes to trading and just understanding direction of markets and whatnot. The first thing we gotta know is what type of markets are we in, right? We gotta understand market structure. Oops. So with market structure, there's two different types of ways we can go. We can either be bullish or we can be bearish. Has anyone ever heard of these terms before, bullish or bearish? Who's ever heard of this? Bullish or bearish? Anyone ever heard of those terms? Okay, so I see we got some people familiar. So bullish, price going up. Ideally, bullish, we want to see price going up. For bearish, ideally, we want to see price going down. Okay. So when it comes to bullish and bearish price action, we're going to have a thing called healthy and unhealthy. Okay. Healthy and unhealthy price action. So for healthy price action, we want to see price, and the term price action simply means the way price is moving. It's price movements is price action, just so you guys don't get confused. Healthy price action, let's just say bullish, for example, we have price gradually going up, right? Like we can see we had some pullbacks, but overall the direction is up. That is healthy price action. Now, if we want to look at unhealthy price action, it would be if price just shot straight up to the moon. That is the difference between healthy and unhealthy price action. So if we went to this stock right here, I want y'all to tell me, what do y'all see? Actually, okay, so we can see from 20, what year is this? 2021 or 2020? We can see from 2020 to 2021, this stock went from $57 to $429. Is this an example of healthy or unhealthy price action? Let me know in the chat. Healthy or unhealthy price action? All right, so I see a lot of people saying unhealthy. Why is that? Why is this unhealthy price action? Let me know. I want to see the reasoning behind it. It's one thing to know something, but it's another thing to actually understand why. So I see someone says grad or drastic increase, not gradual, no pullbacks. It shot up, went too fast. Good job, everybody. You guys understand this is unhealthy because we just went straight up. Now, if we're looking at the opposite side, guess what? Did we just come down just as fast? Yes or no? We went from 492 to 37. So the reason why I'm showing you guys this is because when we have unhealthy price action and we see price just shoot up, we can always expect it to shoot back down just as fast. It's only a matter of time before price does that. So this is an example of unhealthy price action, okay? Now, let's say we wanted to go to Apple stock. Is this an example of healthy or unhealthy price action? Yes, perfect. This is healthy price action. And the reason why this is because we get gradual movements. You can see here, we go up and down, up and down. This is gradual. So over time, we can see price is moving higher, and this is healthy price action. So when it comes to healthy price action, the way I want you guys to see it and think about it is like this. Sustainable price action is healthy. Unsustainable price action is unhealthy. So if we're going to invest, if we're going to buy shares, we're going to look to get in, if we're going to look to do anything, we want to see healthy price action. Because if let's say we hop into something and we get one strong push up, guess what? We can also get one strong push down and wipe our gains away. So we always want to be in a position where we are getting in at a point at which we can see consistent gradual growth. Now, there will be times where you might hop in a trade and price might just shoot up, but guess what? You got to be able to execute on that because you don't want to stay your welcome, overstay it, and then we see the opposite thing happen. So that's the difference between healthy and unhealthy price action. So when it comes to, let's go to the next part. When it comes to bullish price action, ideally, and now we're just talking about healthy here, we are going to want to see movements like this. We are going to want to see our lows make a high. Okay, so we can see here, every time we get a low, we make a new high. Every time we make a low, we make a new high. Every time we get a new low, we make a new high. So I want you guys to understand when it comes to bullish price action, our lows should give us new highs. So we can see here, green low gives us green high. Red low gives us red high. Orange low gives us orange high. Purple low gives us purple high. You guys see that? Put got it in the chat if you got it. You got it, Jerry? You got it, Dominique? You got it, Walter? You got it, Annette? If you guys got to take a screenshot of this diagram, go ahead, go do so. All right, perfect. So let's keep going. So whenever we have a low that gives us a high, we are going to call that a range. Just think of it as like, this is the box that we're in. If we got a low that gives us another high, that's another box that we're in. So if we were to say green low to green high is a range, we're going to label this as, let's just say range 1. Okay. So now at any time price is trading in between here from this low to this high, we are inside of range 1. Now we can see price came up and we broke the high of the range. Therefore, this red low gave us that red high. So we just created a new what? What did we just create, y'all? Red low to red high. What did we just create a new one of? Yes, a new range. Good job. So this would be range 2. Now, if we wanted to do the same thing, we can see orange to orange gave us what? What range is this? What number? Yep, range 3. Perfect. Let's do one more right here. Purple to purple is going to be what? Yes, range 4. Good job. I want everyone to take a break real quick. Give yourself a pat on the back. Because you are catching on to this real quick. So good job, everybody. All right, so let's continue. So every single time that we see a range get broken, in the sense of, okay, we have a high of a range get broken, that right there is going to be referred to as a structure break. Oops. So this is when a high of a bullish range gets broken. Try to make this a little bigger. So structure break when a high of a bullish range gets broken. So we can see right here, the high of this gray range, range 1, gets broken once red comes up to break it. That is a structure break. Okay. So then once again over here, we can see if we got range 2 from orange low to orange high, but then this push, we break it, this break is going to be called a structure break. If we see over here, this orange high gets broken from this purple move, what just happened? What are we going to label this as? Put in the chat. Come on, we only got 2 replies. We need everyone to reply. Yep, a structure break. So we're going to put SB. So whenever we have a low that gives us a push up to break structure, that's where the beginning of the range starts. So if this is our current range, range 4, and we have price do this, 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 and then this, I want y'all to tell me, let's just label these lows as different numbers. Which one of these lows, 1, 2, or 3, gave us a push up to give us a structure break? Which one? 1, 2, or 3? Put in the chat. I want to see who's paying attention. Because if y'all can get this right, and this is y'all's first time in this class or learning from me, whatever, I'm telling you, you are bound for success. Look, I've seen everyone here get the right answer. The answer is number 3. And why is that? Why is the answer number 3? Yep, this is the low that gave us the push up to get a structure break. So therefore, we don't really care about 1, 2, but 3 is what we're going to focus on because this is what actually broke structure. So good job. So this right here for bullish price action, this is your roadmap. Like this is what you always want to keep right next to you. So right here, make sure you take these notes because this right here is going to help everything become so much easier. Now, if we talk about bearish price action, it's the same thing, but just the opposite. We are going to look for our lows to get lower and our highs to get lower as well. So we can see our high is going to give us a new low. So the whole goal for bearish price action is for us to get new lows, right? We want to see price go down. So we can see if we made ranges, purple to purple is a bearish range. Once we get a low that's broken, this is going to be a what? I want y'all to guess. Yep, exactly. A structure break. Good job. We see red to red is another bearish range. Once the low gets broken, it's going to be another structure break. So now let's say price does this. If we label these as 1, bro, how are y'all answering the question and I couldn't even finish the diagram. You guys are already answering the questions, man. You guys are too good. Am I making this easy for y'all? My goal is to make this trading stuff as simple as possible. I just want to make sure I'm doing it. Put easy in the chat if I'm making this stuff easy for you. Perfect. I love it. I love it. That's the whole goal. So if this is what we have, we can see number 3 is the high that gives us the push down to be able to get this structure break. Okay. So in a bearish range, we are going to look for price to go down. So therefore, we're going to look for puts. For a bullish range, we're going to look for price to go up. Therefore, we are going to look for calls. Now, here is where things can get a little tricky for people. And this right here will kind of tie everything together. So we know what a bullish range looks like. We know what a bearish range looks like. Price is not always going to go in one direction forever. Sometimes price is going to switch. We can be bullish, we can be bearish, then we could go back bullish, and then we can go back bearish. But we got to understand when to recognize when that switch is actually happening. So let's kind of put these two things together here. So the middle part, let's say we have a bullish range. We can see our last range is from this low to this high, okay? From blue to blue. Now, as price is trading in between here, we are simply trading inside of this range, right? We didn't get a structure break yet. Price has to break this high to give us a structure break, but we didn't do it. Now, if in a bullish range, price instead breaks the low, this is going to be called a market structure shift. Okay? So market structure shift is when price breaks the opposite side in a range, therefore indicating price will reverse the direction / trend. I'll make this bigger. Market structure shift, when price breaks the opposite side in a range, therefore indicating price will reverse or shift the direction, okay? So we see in a bullish range, if price breaks the low instead of a high, that is a market structure shift. So let's take what we just learned from bearish ranges. This right here is going to be our first bearish range because this is the push down that gave us the market structure shift. Price was bullish. Now we just flipped to bearish. So now from here, we should expect bearish price action to play out. We should expect a high and then another low, then a high and then a lower low. Just like that. So then from here, we can identify when price has shifted, and then we can start capitalizing on the opposing side. Okay, does that make sense? How all this stuff kind of correlates together. So now let's just say price does this. Oh, what just happened? What just happened, y'all? We had a bearish range, and then instead of breaking the low, we broke the high. What's that? Exactly. This is a market structure shift. So now that that has happened, we got to ask ourselves, where did that shift come from? This bullish range right here, that low to that high. So now this is our bullish range, and then we should expect price to continue bullish structure to the upside. And that's how you're able to correlate all of these two things together, so then you can actually read market structure within that. So if we go to the charts, I'll just break it down for you real quick. So when we're looking at charts here, I want y'all just to understand this. The purple candles represent price going up. The black candles represent price going down, okay? So all I want you guys to focus on is just the direction. I don't want y'all to focus on, well, this candle did this, can't just look at the overall direction. If we have price, so I'll just give you guys the range because we didn't go too deep into it. We have this bearish range down here, okay? Here, we got a market structure shift once we broke the high of our bearish range. Now, ever since we got that market structure shift, what did price end up doing? What direction did price move after we got a market structure shift to the upside? Exactly, price started to go up. So this is how important it is just to be able to identify where you have the market structure shifts. Because in this scenario, all it is this diagram. Bearish range, market structure shift, and then from here, we started gradually moving higher. So if you can look at a chart and you can identify, Here's my market structure shift. Now you can start to understand what direction price should go in. So I'll write this down for you guys because I really don't want y'all to get this confused. A structure break is a continuation of a trend. Okay. And then market structure shift is a reversal of a trend. Okay. So if we are bullish and we are continuing bullish structure, this every time we break a high, that is going to be our structure breaks. If we are bullish and then we flipped to bearish, this right here is going to be a market structure shift. Okay, so now let's go through a couple examples and let's see who can identify this stuff. So this is NVIDIA right here. So the bullish range that NVIDIA is in is this low to this high. Okay, that's the current bullish that is the current bullish range. So if price breaks this low of the bullish range, what is that going to give us? Let me know in the chat. If we break the low of our bullish range, exactly, market structure shift. Price breaks the high of the bullish range, what's that going to give us? Yep, structure break. Good job. Let's go to a different stock. Let's go to Amazon. So right here, Amazon was in a bearish range. So this whole red box was the bearish range we were in. Did price give us a structure break or a market structure shift for Amazon down here? Yep, a market structure. Man, y'all are killing it. Y'all are actually killing it. Like every time y'all say the answer before I can even ask, y'all just got me thinking. I'm just like, dang, these guys are good. Yeah, so this is a market structure shift. And then we can see here, we got pretty clear upward direction. Okay. So now let me give y'all some sauce real quick. And let me see, it's 7:48. Let me give y'all some sauce. So when we are looking at a bullish range, bullish structure, so this is only for bullish. Oops. For bullish structure, we know is compromised of highs and lows, right? We all know that? Put got it in the chat if you got it. If you know that for bullish structure is compromised of lows and highs. Our lows get higher, our highs get higher. So here's the trick. In a bullish range, it's never going to be, sometimes it can be, but typically it's not always going to be as simple as, oh, we made a low, it's going to give us a new high. You got to understand, you're going to be trading against, like trading, sometimes there's traps, there's tricks placed for you to fall into. Like just imagine it as, have any of you guys ever seen, I think it was called Squid Games. And there was a game where, and I'll draw it out for you. There was a long path, and then let's say underneath it is a 200-foot fall. So obviously, if you fall, you probably will be out of here. And throughout this, they had a bunch of different tiles. So some tiles, they're all going to look the same, but let's just say some tiles might have the breakthrough. Like you step on it and it's going to break through. So let's say this one right here. And obviously you're not going to know this one right here, and this one right here. If you step on these tiles, you are going to fall straight through the floor, right? It's a trick. It's designed for you to think everything is going to be as simple as possible. And then you step through it, now you fall through the glass. When it comes to market structure, honestly, guys, it's kind of the same thing. So within bullish structure, we know we're going to get lows to make highs, but here is where one of those tricks are. So in a bullish range, and everyone pay attention right now, because this is some serious sauce and I'm going to show y'all. So in a bullish range, we'll get a low that'll give us a brand new high. Okay. So whenever price makes a brand new high and we come down to make a low, this right here, we got to pay attention to. So the area that price makes, so the high, once we come down and we make a low and we pivot in the opposite direction like this right here shows us we just made a low. Y'all see that? How we just went low to high, and then price had to make a low, then pivot up to show us this is an actual low. Who sees that? Come on, y'all. We got 300 people in here. I need to see everyone. Because this right here is going to help y'all make a lot of money. Okay, so this low, we want to identify and we want to label this. So we can just label this low as a first low. So we'll just abbreviate it as FL. Okay. So this low, we want to point it out. We want to say, okay, I see this is a first low. Now from here, ideally, we just want to be patient. We want to see price. Dude, we don't care what it does, but we want to see price come down and take this low. And then from here, we should then see price have a big spike to the upside. Now, imagine this. A lot of people are going to think, well, we just made a high, we made a low, therefore, we should make a brand new high. That's what a lot of us are going to think. Oh, we just made a bullish range. Now we're going to make a brand new one. It's not always that simple. And this is the trick to it. We'll see price come up, make it look like we are going to make a new range, give us a structure break, and then we'll see something like this happen. And then we'll see something like this. So imagine you bought call contract for $100 right here because you're thinking price is going to continue up and continue up for a new range. Then all of a sudden you get a huge push down. Are you going to keep holding this position or likely sell it? Which one? Let's say you bought right here. You went up about 5% and then price dumps on you. Exactly. A lot of us are typically going to sell out of this position. And guess what? When you sell out of this position for a loss, guess who's on the other end buying your position? That's going to be me. That's going to be my mastermind students. It's going to be people in my signals group. This is where we are going to buy. We are going to be buying all throughout this area down here. So from this, then we'll start to see a big push in the opposite direction. Now, this is where the first low comes into play because this, think of the first low as a magnet. Once that first low is made, we want to see price attract to it. Like it's going to be literally like a magnet attracting price back down. And once price comes down below that first low, then we want to look for some sort of entry to catch this next push up. Now, I'm just going to show y'all because I got some diagrams to break down how this stuff actually works. So look at this right here. We can see we get a bullish range. Then we get our first low here. I don't care if price makes another range. I'm not going to look to take a trade until we manipulate, until we come down below this first low. Here we can see price comes down below the first low, and then we push higher. Another example here. We make a bullish range. We make a first low. We want to point that out. And this area in between, we don't even want to touch it. We only want to pay attention to this if we come down to break this first low, and then we'll look to catch this push higher. So let me show you guys some real diagrams, some real life examples. Here we got a market structure shift. Here we got a bullish range to the upside. So these purple candles show price is going up. Here, price comes down, and mind you, I'm just showing you guys this overall. We'll talk about how to read the candles later. Here, price comes up, we make our first low, and then we move higher. We're not going to touch it because price did not do what? Why are we not going to touch this? This push up, we don't care about it because of what? What has to happen first? We have to go below the first low. Once we come down below the first low, you can see we get a clean push to the upside. I'll show you guys another one. We get a bullish range in this blue box. We make a first low. Price comes up a little bit. We come down below that first low, which is going to be called manipulation. And then look, we got a clean push higher. Literally same diagram. Bullish range, first low. Wait for that first low to get manipulated. Push higher. Same thing over here. Bullish range, first low. There's the manipulation, push higher. Same thing over here. Push up, first low. I don't care about any of this. Wait for the manipulation, push higher. Now, this right here just alone is so powerful because anything that I show y'all, does anyone here have a 401k or Roth IRA? Does anyone invest in their future? Put future in the chat. Put future in the chat if you invest in your future by buying shares. Okay, good. So this is exactly what I use to invest. Okay, look at this. I told my group, and this was back in, let me see, when was this? This was back in March. I told them, look, y'all, it's time to invest. We got to start putting money into shares, and I'm showing them all the shares I'm buying. I'm showing them as I'm buying more and whatnot. And the reason why I started buying shares is because of this exact same thing. So this was back in March and April. We see we have a bullish range right here, this low to this high. So this box that is in green, this is a bullish range. And here we got a structure break. All right, put got it in the chat if you see it, if you got it. How this is a bullish range, this low to this high. Let me see who's paying attention. Okay, perfect. So once price makes a bullish range, the second thing we're going to look for is a first low. So it doesn't matter the color of the candle. We'll get into all that stuff later. But we just want to see price make a push down and then push in the opposite direction. And whatever the lowest point is, after that, we're going to label that as the first low. So here's our push up. Here's our push down. And then we move higher. So therefore, that's the lowest point. This is going to be our first low. So now look what happened. Once price broke the first low, look at this. What direction did price go? You can see we had a clean move to the upside once we broke that first low. So all of this, and this is just investing in shares. This is almost 140% return on your money. And you didn't have to do nothing. All you had to do is invest it and just let it sit. So do you guys see how powerful it is to be able to understand how to read market structure and how to be able to identify all of this stuff? And then from there, you can set yourself up for opportunities for your money to grow. Do you guys see that? Because I'm a firm believer of if you see it, you can believe it. And if you believe it, you can achieve it. And it's as simple as this. And you can replicate this same thing for a lot of stuff. Like a lot of the stocks, a lot of the shares and whatnot that I bought around this time was all because of this right here. Another example, AMD stock. We all bought around the exact same time. So over here, we can see We have a bullish range, this low to this high. Okay. Price came down, then we pivoted up. The lowest point of this push down is here. So therefore, that is a first low. Wait for price to manipulate the first low. And then guess what? Clean push to the upside. That is a 359% return. Y'all, who would benefit if you were able to use this charting stuff to invest in your future? Like, who would that benefit? Let me see in the chat. Like, because a lot of us, when it comes to investing, we just maybe aren't the best investors because we just don't understand what we're actually doing. Now, I've only been talking to you guys for about an hour and a half, and you guys can already see here, if you just got this stuff down, if you just understand how to go to a lousy website and know how to read a chart, you can do a lot. If you had an extra $5,000 sitting around and you said, look, I don't want to waste this on anything. I actually want to invest in my future. And you invested just simply based on this simple strategy, you would have turned, or not turned, but you would have made a 359% of your money. So you would have made almost $18,000 off of just this right here. And I use this same exact setup, the same thing every single time. And that's how I'm able to get the results that I do. And even same thing with my students is all because we understand how to actually look at this stuff the right way. So let me just type in. I just want to see what students. I just want to show y'all because it's one thing for me to be able to do this, but it's another thing for you guys to see how actual people put this stuff into play. All right, so let me show y'all real quick. Example right here. First low, price takes the first low, clean push higher. First low, price takes the first low, clean push higher. Let me go to this right here. Let's look at just how some people are actually putting this stuff into action. He used the same thing to take $790 to turn it into $1,300 and made an extra $520. Who could benefit from an extra $500 in a day? Who could that benefit? Because the thing about trading, y'all, is you don't have to make $10,000 in a day. Like, I make thousands of dollars from trading, but that's just me. You don't have to. For example, this guy right here. Remember how I told y'all base hits will help your account gradually grow? This was a base hit for him, 20% return, $800. 25% return, $42. Get you some lunch, right? Like, there's so many things that we can use when it comes to trading to be able to actually make real income. And this right here is like one of the forefronts of it. An extra $712. An extra, okay, this guy used the same thing. He found his first low right here. He made an extra $361, an extra $916, and so forth. But I just wanted to show y'all this, not to like brag or boast, but to show you guys how people are just like you are actually implementing all this stuff to be able to see results. This guy made an extra 4K in a day, like an extra 171. Like, imagine you took $196 and made 171 bucks on it. How many hours of work would y'all have to go work to make an extra $171? How many hours of work would that be for you to make 170 bucks? I see 8 hours, I see 4 hours, I see 3 hours. What else? 4 hours. So imagine you just saved yourself or you just bought yourself back 4 hours of time because you took a trade that maybe took 3 minutes to play out because you understand how to read a chart. Y'all, when it comes to, because look, at the end of the day, I want everyone here to be successful. So I'm going to just be real blunt with you. Can I do that? Can I just be blunt with y'all? Can I just, just kind of just let loose a little bit? Okay, so when it comes to trading, I want everyone here to start off by having a healthy relationship with it because I see often a lot of people will, see these big things online and whatnot, see all these people make a bunch of money and everything, and they think that, I have to be able to do the same. Like if he's making 5K, I got to be able to make 5K. Now, you got to understand you have to be able to do what makes sense for your situation. If you're trading with $200, do not expect to make $20,000 from trading tomorrow because that's just not realistic. But we got to be able to get good first, get consistency, and then as time progresses, as your skill gets better, you'll be able to get to that point. Because a lot of you guys will see me today make $3,000 in a day, $8,000 in a day. But that's today. That's right now. You guys didn't see in 2023 and 2024 when I was only making maybe $400 in a trade. So you guys got to understand throughout the journey, there's stepping stones to the path of you getting to the point to make thousands and thousands of dollars a day from trading. Now, we got to be honest with ourselves here. The same thing that I talked about earlier, let me pull this back up. We have to have that healthy relationship. The same way we feel about making $100 in a day from trading. We got to have the same feeling when it comes to 10K, when it comes to $10. So realistically, let's say you're trading with a $500 account. I'll break the numbers down for you. If you're trading with the $500 account, realistically, you should probably be looking to make an extra $100 to $200 a day in a trade. Now, let's say over the course of a week, you'll probably be able to make an extra 300, 500 in a week, possibly. Now, with that, I don't want you to get in a habit of, sitting there thinking, well, man, I'm only making an extra 100, but like an extra $150 in a day goes a long ways away. Even $200. What could $200 buy you? Tell me in the chat, what could an extra $200 do for you? I see groceries, I see food, I see gas, pay my light bill, pay a bill. Exactly. Like, who here would want trading to be able to just relieve some stress, pay some bills? Who would love that? Like, who would be like, okay, if trading is able just to do this one thing for me, it might make my life a little bit easier. Just maybe to save a little bit more, to invest a little bit more, to get ahead a little bit more. Eat out. Exactly. It can do a lot for you. But we got to be able to get comfortable with just seeing that before we can continue building because trading is a skill. Okay? What I want you guys to understand is skills are something that you're going to have for the rest of your life. No one can take it away from you. No one can take knowledge from you because it is a skill. The more you practice the skill, the more you put time into it, you get better. So when it comes to learning how to trade, the more work you put in, the more results you get out. Now, can anyone here relate to this to where you feel like you go to work, let's say it's 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and you're just like, man, I'm just counting down the hours. I can't wait to get back home because I just don't want to be here right now. I got a meeting in a couple hours I don't want to do. This person over here might annoy me today. Is that anyone here? Who am I talking to? I want y'all to be honest. We're letting loose. Is anyone in here, you get to work and you're just like, oh, brother, can 5 p.m. roll around? See, Bernard says every day. Is that anyone? So a lot of us will spend 8 hours at work in that scenario where we're just doing what we got to do just to get by, just to pass the day. But then after work, that's where what the decisions that we make will either keep us in the same situation or put us in a better situation later. So a lot of us after work will be in a situation where we're hanging out with people that aren't showing us something new. We're being around people that maybe aren't pouring life back into us. We're doing things that isn't necessarily beneficial to our growth. So let me just write that out real quick. Let's just say no growth, no new skills. Let's say in comfort zone. Let's add one more. Let's just say same old routine. Does anyone feel like this is, oh, I see Jay just said this is their situation right now. Is this anyone's situation right now where you just feel like maybe the people you're hanging out with, maybe the things that you're doing, you're not really getting a lot of growth from it. You're not learning new skills. You're kind of just sitting in your comfort zone and you're just having the same old routine. Is that anyone here? I only see a few people. I know there's got to be some more people than that. This is an honest conversation. And if it is you, it's not a problem because guess what? You're here today learning a new skill. Now, there is a reason why you are here, Crystal. You are here, Cameron. You are here, Wendy. You are here, Derry. You are here, Deborah, Aja, Charlie, Jerry, Evan, Ashley. There's a reason why you guys are here, but your peers aren't. There's a reason why you are here and your neighbor isn't, your coworker isn't. Because guess what? They are still in that same routine. They don't see a problem with it. They don't want more for themselves. Does anyone here feel like they just deserve a little bit more out of life? Maybe they're just like, look, I mean, I'm not saying my life is terrible, but I mean, shit, I just want a little bit better life. I want to just relax a little bit more. I want to be able to maybe not stress as much. Does anyone feel like they deserve that? I mean, for me personally, y'all, I recognized this when I was like 20 years old. I looked in the mirror and I say, look, this can't be the rest of my life. I'm in college right now. The last thing I want to do is just graduate school and then just go through the same routine over and over and over again because I saw so many adults do the same thing. So for me, I understood that I had to make a change. I had to make a change within myself. I had to do things that were different that I wasn't used to. I had to get out of my comfort zone to be able to break that routine. And I can say I've never had a job before. I've only gone to school and I never had a job after going to school because I made that change for myself while I was still in school. But at the end of the day, you got to make the change for yourself. So a lot of us will stick in this area, not because we choose to, but it's because we were designed to, because we just didn't know any better. Now, I can't fault you if you just didn't know any better. You were just simply staying in the wrong room. The wrong room is where no growth happens. You don't learn any new skills. You're in the comfort zone. It's just the same old routine. You're not going to grow. You're not going to get what you desire out of life because nothing is changing. Now, in the right room, y'all, this is where you learn new skills. This is where you get new income. This is where you get accountability partners. This is where you also are supported. This is where you are able to grow mentally, financially, and so much more. You have to be able to put yourself in the right room if you want to see the right changes for your life. Now, I will say sometimes it can be a little scary. It can be a little bit uncomfortable because that's just something that we're not used to. But here is the problem. A lot of us today, you guys know what the average life expectancy is? And I'm not saying this to scare anybody, but I'm just speaking facts. The average life expectancy in the United States of America right now is 79 years old. So a lot of us have more time behind us than we have in front of us. Just let that sink in. I'll draw that on a diagram. A lot of us right now might be 40. Actually, let me do it this way. So we got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. A lot of us already filled up all of this time right here. And let's say this is where we are right now. A lot of us have more time behind us than we have in front of us. So we don't have time to waste, right? The decisions that we make today is going to change the rest of the time that we have here. If we wasted our half of our 40s, some of our 30s, some of our 20s making the same mistakes, why should we expect that life is going to be any different for the rest of the time that we have? It's not whatsoever. And that just simply stems from us being poor. And I'm not talking about financially poor, I'm talking about mentally. I'm talking about passing over opportunities repeatedly. A lot of us have done that our whole entire lives. A lot of us have just seen opportunities to grow, see opportunities to be in the right room, and we just let it pass us by. And the thing about opportunity is it does not come each and every single day. And when we take opportunity and we just don't do anything with it, the next person will. The next person will be able to take what you deserve and everything that you want, and they'll go run off with it. And guess what? We're tired of that. Put no more in the chat. No more. We're not going to waste opportunity. If we're not just going to let it pass by us. Put no more if we're ready for a change. Put no more if we're at the point in our life to where we understand the decisions that we make today is going to help change our future. And if we change our future and we see success, that's going to impact more people around us. Put no more in the chat if you understand that when it comes to opportunity, you have to say yes. You have to be able to expect success. Like you expect success is yes. We got to be able to focus. We got to be able to follow one course until success. We got to be able to be dialed in. Because if we want things to change, we got to change within ourselves. And for the people that are going to be in the right room, these are the people that are maybe 3 months from now, 5 months from now. Those people are going to see tremendous changes, growth. And like, to be honest with you, the people that I work with, I don't go for regular growth. I go for tremendous growth. Like, what does growth look like for y'all? Let's say over the next 2 months, what does growth look like for you? Like, if you were to see success from trading, what does that look like for you? What does growth look like? Just put in the chat. Let's talk about it. What does growth look like? I see 25% a month. I see 2,000 a week. I see extra 2K a month. What else? 300 a day, 200 a week, 5K a month. Look, all of these things are more attainable than you probably imagine. And I see people do it each and every single month that I work with. I work with thousands of people, and I know what a successful person looks like and what an unsuccessful person looks like. And if you want to be successful, you got to be able to put in the work. You got to be able to be challenged. Because if it does not challenge you, it will not change you. Put change in the chat if you're ready for a change. What does not, if something does not challenge you, it's not going to change you. Right? If we want to be able to see changes in our life, we got to be able to plant the seed today to sit in the shade tomorrow. We got to. We got to be able to take action. We got to be able to plant that seed if we want our future to be different. So for those of you that are ready for a change, for those of you that are tired of just letting opportunity pass by them, to ready to be in the right room, and let's just say you want to continue. Let's say you want to take this to the next level and actually see that tremendous growth. Now is the time. Because the last thing that, and what, we're almost halfway into the year, the last thing that you would want to experience is you build momentum. You start seeing how things can actually work out for you and you don't take action. So for the people that want the change, ready for change, and just tired of just the same old stuff and want different results, let's get you there. So for the people that are ready for that, I have an application, and this is for us to work together. Just continue past this 2 days, because once this 2 days is over with, that's it. And for the people that want to continue getting that change, getting that education, getting that coaching, getting that mentorship, all you have to do is just fill out this application. It's extremely short. And with this application, I mean, we can only work, I mean, well, I'm only one person myself. We can only work with a few people. So this application, I'll have the customer support put it in the chat. All you got to do is just fill out the application, and we'll hop on a call and see where your goals are, see how we can get you there, and everything of that nature. Now, I will say, to be able to work, obviously it's not going to be free. There's going to be an investment. But the thing about investments are, let's just talk about ROI. Return on investment. A lot of us are always so focused about the return, but what do you have to do first to get a return on your investment? What's the first thing that you have to do? What do you have to do first? You got to invest. You got to invest in yourself. You got to be able to invest in your future. Because if you are someone that says, hey, look, you know, I want to get the return. I want to be able to travel more. I want to be able to have location freedom. I want to be able to spend more time with my family. I want to be able to invest more. I want to be able to have a new income. You got to be able to invest in yourself, whether it's a time investment, whether it's a dollar investment or whatnot. You got to be able to put yourself in the right room, because guess what? In the right room, all of this stuff happens. You're around people that are like-minded individuals. You're around people that are going to hold you accountable and make sure that you do not fail. You got to be able to do all of these things. Now, as I said before, we got less time ahead of us than we have before, or than we have behind us. So we got to be able to change our mindset. When we see an investment in ourselves, we got to get excited. We got to say, okay, I know if I invest in myself, I know I'm going to be able to see that return. I'm working towards what I want out of my life. For me, I had to, like this, let me just put it like this in a perspective. For me to get to the point to where I am today, to be able to make on average 20K a week from trading, I had to be able to 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025 is when I actually started taking off with this stuff. So it took me years. I wasted thousands of dollars from trading, taking losses that I didn't need to take. I wasted so much time, and time is something that's more valuable because we can't get that back. So, with all of that, I had to invest a lot to be able to understand what to do and not to do. And for you, you can expedite that process. You don't have to go through the trenches. You don't have to go through years and years of trial and error, all because you will be able to skip that step and have the benefits of being in the right room because you will be able to avoid all of those things, all by being in the right room. Just like Wendy said, this is attainable. Put success in the chat if you're going to see success from this. I just want to see who's confident, who feels like, look, I already got what it takes. I know that because this is like, I'm going to just be straight up with y'all. If you have a job right now, if you have a full-time job, I could almost guarantee you there's no way I can go downstairs and pick a random person and they're just going to replace your job like that and do just as well as you. Because guess what? They don't have the training you have. They don't have the education you have. They didn't do all the things that you had to do to get to the point to where you had to be successful. So you already have what it takes to become a winner. All you got to do is just apply that to this. And this is a skill that you're going to have for the rest of your life. This is a skill that's going to help put income in your pockets where you can continuously grow it. It's going to do a lot for you. This isn't going to put a cap on your income or anything of that nature. So you got to be able to understand that, hey, look, you already have what it takes, but you just don't have the right vehicle. So I want to see everyone apply because I believe all y'all are winners. I believe everyone here has what it takes. Just like Jay said, a skill to share with your family. There's a lot of people that I teach and they're able to take this skill and share it with their cousin, their mom, their uncle, their brother. Like, and I'll give you guys a perfect example right here. Let me pull this up. Exactly. Skills pay the bills. So this guy right here, John, I taught John back in 2025, I believe, either 2024 or 2025. So John here, he was 25 years old, freshly married, just had a kid. He didn't have any experience with trading. And he came to me, he said, hey, look, Sire, I already know if I put my mind to something, I can be successful. I just don't have the right vehicle to be successful in. Like, I can be successful within my job, but I know that can only get me so far. Put no cap in the chat if you have a job that puts a cap on you and you're just like, look, I'm tired of this cap. I don't want a cap anymore. Come on, we don't want caps on our, like the income, that's what you don't want to have a cap on because that's how we're going to be able to do everything that we want. So for John, I told him, I said, hey, look, if you're going to learn how to trade, for me, I need to make sure you're going to take this stuff seriously. I need to make sure you're going to be able to do this stuff the right way and give it your all. He said, look, you show me the ropes, I promise you, I'm all in. John was all in. Within a week of trading, this is where it clicked for him. This was about 3.5 weeks in. He made $3,800 in a week. And then months and months later, look at this. In another week, John made $65,000. And he only traded for 2 days. So if John never decided to put himself in the right room, this type of income would have not been possible. This is the power of investing in yourself to be able to be around the right individuals that are going to pour life back into you. Another, Tiara right here. She knew a little bit about trading. Yes, in 2 days. And yeah, my mind was blown in 2 days. So Tiara right here, she knew a little bit about trading, but she said, hey, look, I'm tired of failing. I'm tired of not being consistent. I'm tired of not having a strategy, having a plan. Can you just show me how to do it real quick? I showed her. Look at her results. She took $4,000, made 19,000 off of it in a week. A trade right here, she made $6,900. She made $2,500. And she's not putting a lot of money into these trades, but this all comes from being in the right room. I want to see who's going to be in the right room. Put done in the chat. If you already filled out an application, you're going to be in the right room. I just want to see. We need all 230 people should want to be in the right room. Just put done in the chat once you've done it. Who's going to be in the right room? Who's not scared? Who's saying, look, if I'm going to make an investment in anything, I know the safest investment is in myself, because I know if I put my all into it, I'm only bound to see success. Who is that? Put done in the chat if you applied. I see Ashley did it. Who else? I see Joran did it. Who else? I see Alaric. Who else? The application takes about 1 minute to complete. But we got to understand the decisions that we make today is what is going to change our future. The decisions that we make today is going to change our future. If we don't put ourselves in the right situations to win, how could we ever? If we say, look, I'm going to sit, if you sat on the couch and then let's say, I don't know, $100 bill just got placed on your lawn and it was sitting there for an hour and it blew away, you would have never known. You would have missed out on a perfect opportunity all because you didn't decide to put yourself in the right opportunity. And this is how important it is. You guys got to be serious about yourself. Who's not playing with themselves? Who here is like, look, 2026, I'm not playing about my future. I'm not playing about my success. Who is that? I see Charlie's not. Who else? Who else is like, I'm not playing about my future? Come on, we wasted 2025. We weren't in the right room. Same thing 2024. We're not going to do the same thing this year. No games played, y'all. We already put ourselves in the right room one time, which is today. Going to do the same thing tomorrow. But after these 2 days, you're going to go back to either being in the wrong room or you're going to go to being in the right room. I see Aja applied. Everyone say congrats to Aja. Who else? Because a lot of us, we have less time in front of us than we have behind us. We got to be able to make today count. We got to make today count. Who else is going to fill out the application and apply? I see Jason applied. Everyone say congrats to Jason. Who else? Look, y'all, imagine filling out an application can literally put you in the right room to change your situation. Imagine you just learned a new skill that's going to help you change your everything, all because you decided, hey, look, I'm tired of the same old routine. I need to switch it up. So let me get to work. I see George says, I applied an investment in myself is worth it. I agree. Got to invest if you want to be the best. I see Summer applied. Everyone say congrats to Summer. I see Shonda. I see Chrissy. We got 200. I see James applied. We got 215 people in here. Everyone needs to apply. Look, as I said, you guys are here for a reason. Your friends aren't here. Cousin isn't here. Your coworkers aren't here. And that's for a reason. So Let's utilize this opportunity. Let's not waste it. Let's not waste it whatsoever. Come on, the time is now. No opportunities wasted. I see Jonah just applied. Congrats, Jonah. I see Chrissy. Come on, y'all. We got 200 people in here. Let's get all 200 people applied. And yes, we for the investment or whatnot, we got financing options and what I mean on the call, like after you apply or whatnot, we'll get more in detail on how to break it down and everything of that nature. But just know we got to wait for everyone to be able to continue forward.
Yeah, and what Sire, what we're dropping here in this application, we actually have a mastermind where you can lock in with us for 3 months. The arrangements we make with individuals vary per person, and that's why we have you fill out an application because some of you all may be here, and you know what? We may hop on a call with you and say, hey, you know what? This mastermind is not a good fit for you, but we have something else for you. So hop on, book a call after you put in your application. So step one is filling out that application, right? Just like I see many of y'all have filled it out right now. I see Dave and Wendy and David and Laurette and Barb and Chrissy, Jalen, Leslie, Monique, Mark. I see all y'all. Congratulations. Your next step after putting in your application is going and actually booking a time with our team to go over your application. So the team's going to sit with you. We have Matt that you're going to meet with. You're going to meet with Joe and Isaiah. We have a whole team that they're going to sit down and look at your goals. They're going to say, "Hey, hey Gabe, what's your goals for with options? Hey, Arthur, what's your goals?" And they're going to sit down and they're going to be able to look through your application together with you and give you guidance. And if they feel like you're a good fit for the mastermind program, they'll talk with you about those details. But the first step is actually going in and putting your application in because this is a closed door. You're not going to hear Sire talking about this on Instagram. You can't go to his Instagram. You can't go to his YouTube. You can't go anywhere and hear about this opportunity. We wanted to award you guys or reward you guys for being here and sitting with us. And we're not even done. We still got day two. You guys excited for day two tomorrow? I'm excited about day two because listen, we're going to tie it all up and you're going to have even more information tomorrow. I see y'all putting yes. Charlie said I just completed mine. I love it. So we have a day two tomorrow, right? So, but since you all sat through, we don't open this up all the time. This is only open a few times a year. And so we wanted to bring you all to have this option that's close to the public. So make sure that first step is going ahead and filling in your application. But on page two, you need to go book a call with our team to go over your application with somebody. All right. So go ahead and do that as soon as possible. The reason why I'm telling you to do it as soon as possible is because of the fact that I don't want you to lose a calendar spot and you come to me later and say, "Oh no, man, I wish that I would have done this. I wish I would have got that time slot, right?" I don't want you to come to me later and be like, "Man, I missed out on my time slot." So go ahead book that as soon as possible, okay? So, let me actually see real quick if there's anybody else in here. I'm going to give a shout out to a few other individuals. And we have the calendar will look like this. By the way, I'm going to share my screen. So when you guys go to book a call, you'll see we have some slots even for tonight and then also for tomorrow. So we even have time slots in early morning. Team, is that supposed to be that way? Team, are we supposed to have time slots at 3 a.m.? Let me know if that's accurate or not, Isaiah or Matt in the chat. But long story short, we got times for everybody. Okay, so make sure you go ahead and book your time slot. The actual application page is for a mastermind. But for some of you all, like I said, you may be ready to rock in the mastermind, but our team will guide you and talk about what would be the best fit for you. So you can go here and all you're gonna do is fill out this application. We're gonna ask for your name, your email, your phone number. We just want to know where you're at income wise. So this will allow our team to see like how much you may be able to start out with investing, right? What your target income goal is, what obstacles are stopping you from hit that goal. If you have trading experience, you could put it in there. Why we should accept you, why you think you would be a good fit for the program. That can all be filled out there on the application page. So make sure you all go ahead and do that. All right. So let me see real quick. What is the best time? Okay. Where do you sign up for a time slot? Ashley, on the next page after you apply, on the very next page, it's going to ask you to book a time. And in your email, there's a confirmation email and a confirmation text that's going to go to you where you can actually go and choose that time. Okay. So check the confirmation page, confirmation email, and confirmation text. All right. Um, all right. So let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. So I'm going to do something. So VIP. So we are wrapping this session up here in just a moment. We went a little later than I anticipated. This is what I'm kind of thinking. I'm kind of thinking, Sire, and I want my VIP. I'm gonna because I don't want to keep you all up late. I know anybody on the East Coast, you're probably like, man, it's almost 10 o'clock. I do want to provide VIP Q&A. What if we did VIP Q&A so you guys have time to process what you learned today, and we do it before day two tomorrow? And we can, if we have time tomorrow at the very end, we can do the day two Q&A at the very end as well. Is that okay with you all, VIP? I know several of you all jumped into VIP. Sire, I don't know if that works for you time-wise, but I'm thinking we could do like 30 to 45 minutes of Q&A. Somebody says I'm cutting out. Can you guys hear me? Giovanni, Wendy, can you guys hear me okay? Okay, audio is good, so it must be on your side, Sire. Okay. I think that it's his connection. Yeah. I think okay, it's his connection. Okay. So this is what I'm gonna see. Okay. Penny, yes, we can help you. We can help you for sure. So is that cool with you? Okay, so you guys said yes. So let's do that. It's because let's do a VIP session before day two tomorrow. So if you're here in your VIP, we want to make sure we do that and take care of you. And it looks like Sire just lost internet connection. So we'll go ahead and do that. So VIP, and I want to thank you guys for being on here. We just went over a little longer than I was expecting. We were expecting to be off by like 9:15 to go into the VIP. So let's do that. If you haven't upgraded to VIP, you could still do so. Um, Yes, we will do it after. We'll do it after 6 o'clock. We'll do like tomorrow at like 6:30, and we'll hop in and do rapid fire Q&A, like no context. Like we'll go blitz through like 15 questions at 6:30 p.m. And then after we'll do a very brief Q&A at the very end of day two as well for you VIP, even if it's late tomorrow. Even if it's late tomorrow, okay? We got you. All right, so let me go ahead and see real quick. Let me see if anybody else has any questions about the application. Somebody said I booked at the wrong time. Can we change it? Yes, yes, you can change it. Is this Eastern time? Yes, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll do that. All right, real quick, if team can DM these individuals that send that can't find the time slot, so we got you all. Shout out to many of you all who just went ahead and applied. So Jaren, Walter, I see you as well. Shout out to you all for jumping in. Let me see who else applied. Vernicia, I think I may have shouted out you. But let's see. We still have a few slots on the calendar, I see. So make sure you all are going ahead and booking those. Tracy will, if you are VIP member, we will send out this link in a portal to you once the event ends. So VIP members, we will send this to you all, I promise. Once the event ends, we're going to send this out to everybody. But if you're here and you don't have a VIP ticket, I'm sorry, the replays will not be available. So you'll have to have a VIP ticket to get those sent to you. Okay. So let's go. Already got the 49. I love it. Jason says didn't get to the calendar invite. We got you. We got you. We got you. So one last chance for y'all to apply. Go fill out the short application if you want to learn more about options trading. You want to be in our community. You want mentorship past this week. Go ahead and fill out that application as soon as possible, and then go ahead and book your call. Um, Tracy said I was told $4.99 replay available. So what do I get? Tracy, the $49 VIP upgrade gets you the replays. I'm not sure what you mean. All right. So the mastermind is actually, just so you guys know, it's an ongoing mentorship and coaching program. So it's virtual coaching, and so we have many digital coaching options where you can get coached live with Sire. Who in here would like to get coached live with Sire, where you could sit down and do live trading with him? Anybody? Anybody would like to be able to go and watch him trade live and him say why he's taking trades? Anybody in here you would like for him to actually give you signals and he tell you what trades to take? Anybody in here you'd like that? For him just to be like, hey, Lee, this is the trade I'm taking. I would enter at this price point. That's pretty wild, right? So that's what you're applying for, is that level of information and that level of guidance, right? Now we want you to go fish for your own food, right? So he teaches you how to go invest. He does give the signals and he gives out the plays and he shows you why he's trading, but he's going to teach you how to actually go fish yourself. Donita says, can I apply after this Zoom? Yes, you can, for sure. You can. All right, y'all. So go ahead and apply and make sure that you do so ASAP before the calendar slots are filled up. I just don't want you to leave here and be kicking yourself. But go ahead and save that link. Click on it in the chat if you want to apply. And we will see you tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow, all right? So have a great night. We'll see you for day 2. Don't miss it. Be there in the room. Peace and blessings, guys. Thanks.
What's up, man? It's payday. I just wanted to hop on here real quick and give a testimonial to my brother since college, University of Iowa, Sire. All he's done being able to teach me how to trade. When I really started linking up with him, I was already kind of big into investing and stuff for the long term, but definitely seeing how he's able to cash flow and build accounts. Trading options daily has been something that's been really eye-opening for me, and it's definitely changed my life for the better. It's got me thinking about money differently. I work in the music business, so there's quick money coming in all the time, and there's a lot of opportunity to spend it on dumb things, to be honest. But being able to just put that into your Robinhood and try to grow that, and also not shooting the moon. He teaches us how to manage the risk. That way you're not risking everything in your account. Something that I'm definitely looking forward to continue to learn, and it wouldn't have happened without my boy Sire.
What's up, guys? My name is Daryl, and since November I've been learning how to trade and invest with Sire. He's honestly a great mentor who's changed my concept of money and how to grow my money. Initially, I had no idea what the stock market is, what trading was, what investing was. I knew nothing about that. I was relying on YouTube Academy, and honestly that was not the best way, because there's so much information from so many people at different levels that you can easily get lost in all of that. So when I found him and he broke it down simply, and you can see how it all builds up on each other, and you can actually look at the chart and be like, hey, I understand what it's doing. I can see where price wants to go. It made it so much easier. If the old me was to see where I am right now and see how much I've accomplished, how much I understand, he'd be absolutely shocked. And even while I was learning, Sire was giving us signals that made it feel like I was actually working towards something. I was seeing the fruits of my labor in real time, and I was seeing where I wanted to be so that I can make those decisions and training myself without having to rely on him. But it was a plus that he was helping me see why he was making these signals. So if you're trying to get into trading and you're completely new, or you know a little bit, or you're completely advanced, I still think that learning from Sire can give you something. You can get something out of it. So yeah, I recommend Sire, and honestly, I've had a great experience with him. So if you want to learn from somebody, I highly recommend Sire. Thank you.
I am super grateful I found Sire's mentorship. I had tried day trading for about a year and I couldn't find any teachers that really broke down the stock market the way that Sire does for me. He's the first one that I ever came across that made me think, I actually think I could be a day trader. And it was true. I have quit my day job and I do day trading full time now. I'm still learning, but with Sire's method and his teaching and guidance, I have a confidence that I thought I would never have when it comes to navigating the stock market. If you're curious about this, I recommend signing up for his boot camp and do the mentorship because it can change your life like it did mine.
Hi, my name's Yolanda, and this mentorship gave me something that I didn't even know that I needed: hope. I came in here trying to learn a new skill set, but now, because of Sire's guidance, not only do I have a new skill set, but I also see a brighter future for myself and for my children. And I just want to thank you so much for your guidance. Thank you for never giving up on us and always pushing us to another level. I wish you all the best in the future. Thanks.
Yo, this is Marquise. I've been learning how to trade and invest with Sire, and this experience has changed my whole perspective on money, on how I think about money, how I'm moving with money, and most importantly, how I'm growing my money. Sire, much love, much respect. Keep doing what you're doing. You change your lives, brother.